It's Chicago Bears Now by Chat Sports, and I'm Harrison Graham, and we are sponsored by Manscaped. Check out Manscaped, the best men's grooming products out there. I've been using them for years, below the waist grooming. You got the beard hair trimmer as well. Promo code Bears20 gets you 20% off at manscaped.com. All right, on today's show, we're going to take a look at some day 2 NFL draft targets for the Chicago Bears. So much focus on Caleb Williams and the number 1 pick. A lot of chatter on the number 9 pick, and of course, we're going to continue to talk about those areas because that's the primary focus. But the Bears do have a couple of other picks right now. They have 75 and 122. I'm not going to focus on 122 today. The primary focus will be 75, but a few of these names could be second-round guys. But hey, the Bears could trade back from 9 and pick up a second. So we'll kind of focus on that round 2, round 3 range today before we get to that. If you're ready for the NFL draft to be here, we're just 8 days away. Go ahead and type me down in the comments right now if you're ready for the draft to be here. I know I'm ready. I know a lot of you guys are ready. And if you're going to join us as well, also type me. All right, go join Patrick Seatman in the Bulls Report tonight as they got a little play-in action against the Atlanta Hawks. He's going to go live at 8 o'clock Central Time. Go check it out. Watch party action, youtube.com/@BullsReport. The Bulls win tonight. They will play the loser of Heat and Sixers, which is about to tip off, or depending on when you're watching this, could be underway already. Go check them out. Bulls Report, hosted by Patrick Seatman here at Chat Sports. He does a great job. All right, let's get to those day 2 draft targets for the Chicago Bears. Michael Hall Jr., the defensive tackle for Ohio State, who I think there's some untapped potential here, and I think his best football is ahead of him. His traits versus production, I think, would suggest that. He's just under 6'3", 299, so right at 300. I would say he fits the mold of a 3 technique. He's got big hands. He's got pretty long arms. His testing was elite in the speed section. His explosion area was great as well. Shout out to Math Bomb. Go check him out on Twitter, who puts these all together. Michael Hall Jr., again, stats-wise for his career, not great, right? You're talking about a guy 6 sacks in his career. His pass rush win rate, though, was indicative of what he's capable of, right? 18.3% this past year. That's very good for an interior defensive lineman. So what does that tell me? Well, that tells me that he gets off the ball well. He's in the backfield. He's just got to finish. Like, he misses tackle for loss opportunities. He doesn't always finish sacks, but he's causing disruption, which is good. And you don't always need that interior guy to finish because other guys can clean up things as well. But if he can just finish a little more consistently and, be a 3-4 sack guy in the NFL from the interior, that's great in the 3rd round. So I think this guy's got starting potential. He could be Javon Dexter's backup as a rookie. I like the fit and the value here on day 2. Ideally at 75, maybe a late 2nd round option as well. Bralen Trice, the edge out of Washington, who seems to have slipped a little bit for some reason. Like, Dane Brugler has him around 80 on his big board, which I was surprised about because this guy can really rush the quarterback, man. I mean, he's got 16 sacks over the past couple of years. PFF overall grade 88 in each of the past 2 years, and his pass rush grade this past year was like 90, I believe. I mean, he really knows how to get after the passer. He's an adequate enough run stopper as well. And again, I'm looking at positions of need, especially if you don't get that or fill that position at number 9 overall or in a trade down. So if you don't go edge in round 1, well, there's not a ton of options, especially at 75, but maybe a guy like Bralen Trice slips there and you're able to get him. He's a consistent pass rusher. His pass rush win rate was just under 18% last year, which is good. He's an adequate run stopper. He's not a guy you're going to, want to play on a lot of 3rd and shorts, especially early on in his career. So I think, at first he's probably a rotation rusher, but he's not going to completely kill you in the run game. I think on day 2 it's a good fit. I would take him in the 2nd round. If he falls to the 3rd, I think that's great. I would like to see the Bears consider him if they don't get an edge earlier. What do you think is a bigger need on the Bears' defensive line? Do you think it is edge, a guy like Bralen Trice would fill, or do you think it's there on that interior with a guy like Michael Hall? Edge or DT for defensive tackle? Let us know what you guys think. You guys know about the boys, right? You know, the boys. I'm not talking about your friends, your sons. I'm talking about the two fellas downstairs. You know, the knee knockers, the golden nuggets, the thigh slappers, whatever you want to call them. Manscaped refers to them as the boys. Not every man has children, although I have a son. But every man is responsible for their two boys below the waist. When your little guys have more hair than they need, and trust me, it's nasty when they do, trust Manscaped for all of your grooming dreams. Boys need love too, so join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com. Use code BEARS20 to get 20% off plus free shipping. The boys are back in town. You've heard it here first. You can check out the Lawnmower family of products there, the 3.0 Plus, the 4.0 Pro, and the all-new 5.0 Ultra. I've been using this product the last several months, and I've never been happier or more comfortable when I've shaved below the waist, because believe me, I've tried different products from different companies in the past, and yeah, sometimes you get cuts, you get burns. Not with Manscaped. No more hair tug, no more cuts down there either. Advanced skin-safe technology with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. It's manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. Give your boys the love they deserve. Trust me, go check out Manscaped right now. Love their products, love what they stand for. It's also a National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, and they're all over that as well. Very important stuff. Go check it all out. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. It's in the comments and in the description of this video. Let's go to another premium position of need. It's Xavier Legette, the wide receiver out of South Carolina. And he's an interesting case study. Like, the evaluations of him are all over the place. Some people like him as high as sneaking him into round one. Some like him like mid-late third round. And look, Xavier Legette is dynamic with the ball in his hands. Is he a perfect player? No. Is he a route running technician? No. But decent enough route runner, strong hands, and he is physical as hell, especially after getting the ball in his hands. He exploded this year in 2023. And if you don't get that receiver early, like that Rome Odunze or like that Malik Neighbors, I think you're okay because you have DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. But it also allows you to get a guy here on day two that, if he's awesome as a rookie, great. Cherry on top. If not, if it needs to take him a little bit of time, okay, he can be a distant third receiver. He can compete with a guy like Tyler Scott for that role, and you can go from there and get him more up to speed for 2025, especially if Keenan Allen is not here. That's yet to be determined, of course. I'm higher on Legette. He's my sixth receiver. I think I have him firmly as a round two guy. Like, I think he's worthy of being a top 50 pick. I would have him outside the top five. I think the top three have separated, and then I think 4 and 5 with Thomas and Mitchell are next. But 6 through 8, 6 through 10, I mean, it's all pretty tight for me. All 10 of these players I would have in the top 50 or 60, and it's kind of pick your flavor. And I like Legette's fit for the Bears because, again, you have two studs that you can lean on. I'd almost take the slightly bigger risk here with Legette, even though he isn't a technician, because he is so special and physical with the ball in his hands. He's almost like a poor man's hybrid Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf type. Like, he looks like, this just physical specimen that isn't maybe the most natural receiver, but he just knows how to make plays. He can high point the football. So I would love it at 75. Again, I think he's a top 50 guy, but we'll have to wait and see. There's always receivers that slip, and when there's so many of them again this year, maybe he's one that slips through the cracks and finds his way into the third round. Speaking of the NFL draft, we are going to be live for all 7 rounds, starting with day 1 on Thursday. Haven't yet decided what time we'll go live. It starts at 7 o'clock Central Time, the draft does. So we'll go at least an hour early at 6, but I'm thinking we may go an hour and a half, 2 hours early. Bears got the number 1 pick. The hype is there. So be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. That way you know exactly when we do go live. It's going to be a hell of an NFL draft for your Bears this year. Okay, let's keep it rolling here. Patrick Paul, the offensive tackle out of Houston. Again, this is kind of one of those, I would love it at 75. Kind of think he'll go a little bit earlier, so we'll see. Pass blocking's really good. Run blocking needs work. I think some of that is you can point to the scheme at Houston, air raid offense. So A, they're not running the football much, so he doesn't have as much reps, and B, it's just kind of that gimmicky stuff. So I think that can, get cleaned up in the NFL in a more pro-style system. But you look at the RAS, again, shout out Math Bomb there. on Twitter. Go check him out. The length, the hand size, the height, the weight, the athleticism. I mean, it's all there. He has the traits to be a starting, I think, right or left tackle. He was a 3-year starter at left tackle. And what I like is that even though they jumped from the American Athletic Conference, the University of Houston, where he played, to the Big 12, he actually played better this past year. So I like that in a level up in competition, he continued to get better because obviously he's going to take another step up in competition this year in the NFL. I think he in round 3 is a great pick because he could be your swing tackle as a rookie. Braxton Jones, stay over there at left tackle. Then, maybe they compete for the starting job in 25, or maybe you trade off Braxton Jones next year in the final year of his rookie contract. Who knows? But if Patrick Paul reaches his potential, I think he can be very, very good. Ben Sinnott, the tight end out of Kansas State. A lot of you guys who watch the show know how I feel about him, and I know we've gotten him in the 4th round of some mock drafts. I don't think he's getting to day 3, guys. There's some draft analysts that think he could be the second tight end off the board over Jatavion Sanders, which would be pretty wild. It's a little split after Brock Bowers on how the rest of the tight ends will fall, kind of 2 through 5. It's pick your flavor, but I like Sinnott because he's got great hands. He's a good blocker, both at the tight end position, and if you want to use him as a fullback, H-back type, he'll get physical back there as well, so he offers you versatility, and I like that if the Bears bring him in because he can be that tight end 3 fullback guy. If your third tight end offers you versatility as a pass catcher, a blocker, at multiple positions, can play some special teams, that's really good value because as much as I like Mercedes Lewis, and believe me, I'm still team bring him back, he's an excellent blocker, that's kind of all he is at his advanced age, right? Like, he's going to be a blocker for you as the number 3 tight end. Ben Sinnott can block. Maybe not as good as Mercedes Lewis. He can catch. Definitely better than Mercedes Lewis. Good after the catch. He can play fullback. You could cut Kari Blasingame if you wanted to. Like, he gives you positional and roster flexibility, which is really, really valuable for a guy that you could find in, maybe the 3rd round. So keep an eye on him. He took a top 30 visit to Hallis Hall, and I'm a big fan of his game. I've seen him play live a couple of times. Name a player that the Bears should draft on day 2 of the NFL draft. I want to hear it from you. If there's another guy you're thinking of, well, maybe it's one of these players. Some other notable names that I'm keeping an eye on. Roger Rosengarten, who's been moving up draft boards. I think even Mel Kiper mocked him at late round 1, which I think is way too rich. But day 2, he can play both tackle spots. I like it. Chris Braswell is an option, the edge out of Bama. I think he'll go 2nd round, but if he falls to the 3rd, that's great. Oregon receiver Troy Franklin. Austin Booker, edge out of Kansas, an intriguing player. Mason Smith, former 5-star recruit who never fully reached his potential at LSU, but I think he's going to go pretty high there on the 2nd or 3rd round. Jalen Polk, the Washington wide receiver who I really like. He's kind of just a poor man's Rome Odunze. Braden Fisk, he's older, but, man, positional versatility. He could play some 3-tech, could play some edge. Brandon Dorless, same deal. He could play some 3-tech or edge. Adisa Isaac, another edge out of Penn State. And then Devontae Walker, the wide receiver out of North Carolina. Kind of a boom-bust guy, but I think at 75 could be worth a swing if you haven't picked up a receiver just yet. All right, that's going to do it for our Day 2 Bears draft targets. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. More content tomorrow. We've got a Joe Alt episode going out in the morning unless breaking news drops, and then if so, we'll push that Alt video back. We're also going to be live tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock Central. Then videos throughout the weekend leading to next week, which is Draft Week 2024. I cannot wait. Subscribe if you're excited. We'll see you guys next time.